Now, final speaker is Mr. Romano De Vivo from Syngenta. He's in charge of the Sustainable Agriculture and Stewardship Program, not only for Europe, but I think the whole of the Middle East and North Africa. You've been doing a lot of stuff to try and make agriculture more sustainable. Are the policy targets in the EC proposals and the amendments of the European Parliament, are they helping as far as you're concerned?
It's a good question. First of all, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you to all the speakers for all these important insights about the greening. I would like, before giving a clear answer, to say basically why is a company involved in all this? What is the role of Syngenta and possibly of the industry? We are solution providers, and we believe that our solutions need to satisfy the need of improving productivity, but also to protect the environment and to ensure to the rural communities a better standard of life. And we believe that the greening is the breakthrough that can also enable some of these elements. And we believe that the greening can be translated into something that is very simple and pragmatic, and that matches exactly with the title of our roadshow, Multifunctional Landscapes. So, if you have a look at this picture, it was taken no more than half an hour from here last summer, basically by the same photographer that is taking now the picture. And I mean, this picture shows on one side a food crop, and on the other side a biodiversity crop. And the message that is emerging from this picture is that food security is still at the center of what we want to extract from agriculture, but at the same time, food security and a better environment can coexist. So the message that we see today in the greening is that we can have both elements, and we need to make a number of considerations that will make this proposal really effective. Many people are afraid of losing land or losing productivity. We can tell you that our experience is that all this can be done on marginal land, on less productive land, that is usually present in all farms. And this would make the difference. Now, we base our experience on several different projects. The first one was started in 2001, and we have tried to involve in these projects several different stakeholders, scientists, authorities, NGOs, and we have been all impressed by the exponential results you can get from the management of this marginal land. And there are a number of scientific elements that also explain how the marginal land, being in between two ecosystems, can produce more biodiversity. Now, from this experience, we also have understood that while quite often in policy and legislation we tend to go on one specific objective, here we truly need to be multifunctional. And multifunctional is very well explained by this slide. When we talk about multifunctional field margins, that is this part of the slide, we are talking about something that is able to deliver against several different goals. So to deliver in terms of biodiversity enhancement, so more food for a number of different species that can populate the margins, but also corridors to link up this biodiversity in the landscape, and also protection for water courses or protection against soil erosion. All these is feasible in a multifunctional solution. Even, and this is the example that Thierry was mentioning at the beginning about South Limburg, again, 1 hour from here, basically we can even give access to tourists to the landscape without disturbing agriculture through a multifunctional field margin that is including a pathway for them. So we can really develop the quality and the goods that agriculture can provide in several different directions. Now, if we compare this sort of solution to the first one, that is more or less what we had some years ago in the policy, the set aside, we immediately see that we cannot have the same benefits. Because that solution is about not managing land. This solution is about growing a biodiversity crop. How we do all this? As a company and as an industry, we try to help farmers through knowledge transfer. So we try to help farmers, first of all, to assess what is the reality of their farm, to understand what is the land that can be used for these multifunctional field margins, what are also the issues that you need to consider, the hot spots that you need to consider to preserve the environment. And then we help the farmers to establish the margins and to manage in the long term and to monitor these margins to be sure that it's clear also the advantage that these margins can bring to the overall production. And there are two key considerations that we need to do here. The first one is related to the fact that the margins are not just producing environmental benefits. For many crops, this enhanced ecosystem will produce effects in terms of yield, so more production, in terms of quality. For example, for apple, it's clear that the apple will have a longer shelf life. That means that there is a benefit for supermarkets and consumers to consider. So if we tend then in the long term to incorporate these elements, and we tend to involve, again in the long term, other partners alongside the value chain, we may engage with companies that are already marketing sustainability to consumers, like supermarkets, and try to shift in the long term from a system of subsidies even to a system where the market finally is recognizing and is paying for this additional value. Maybe this is still a dream nowadays, and this is why we need some subsidies to support the greening measure. So this is the answer of the industry. We believe that this is possible, this is feasible, this would improve the quality of the overall agriculture and will help farmers to be more sustainable and to deliver better products to all the society. Thank you very much.
Very interesting. You want to encourage innovation, which is going to help the production side as well as the ecology side, which is good.